Ground ball. McLean, second. 12 in a row. The oldest team in professional baseball has its 5th ever winning streak of a dozen straight.
Our job every day is to try to kick somebody's ass. I mean, that's why we're here.
That is caught. Left center. Reds win.
And this ball is launched high and very deep to right, long gone. It's second of the night. Ellie De La Cruz.
Short lead for Pena. Larkin drills it. Do you believe this? It's going to be gone. Back to back. Walk-off home runs. How about this? He's back. He's back. He's back.
And a swing and a drive. Deep left field. This one belongs to the Reds.
Swung on and hit
Deep to left field. That ball is going to be gone. Home run. And the Reds put it 5-4.
Goes to second one. Around to first. Got a double play. And the Reds sweep the Cubs. Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Way back there. And gone into the second deck and left. Christian Encarnacion Strand walks it off.
Archer does it in his major league debut. He gets the final 3 outs, and the Reds get an extra inning win. A thriller 5-4.
Swung on. Fly ball. Hit to deep right field. That ball is going to be gone. A grand slam home run by Mike Cameron.
2 outs, 2 on. Reds down by 1. Larkin down the line. It's a winning. It's a winning. Here comes Tucker. Here comes Steins. Larkin's won the game. Barry Larkin gets mobbed. Look at this scene. It's synergy.
The stretch, the pause in the pitch, and a line drive, base hit left center field. A single for Aaron Boone, and this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won 8 in a row.
Kobayashi with a long look turns it loose, and Dunn hits it to deep right. It's all over, and this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won their 5th game in a row. They've defeated the Cleveland Indians on an Adam Dunn 3-run home run, 4-2. In on the corners at first and third. 2 on, nobody out. Here's Royce Ring pitching, no bunt. Ground ball by the third baseman into left field. Jay Bruce rounds third, and this one belongs to the Reds.
That's it pretty good. Guess what? He doesn't need speed. That's gone. He's the king of the Queen City tonight.
With 1 out here in the 11th inning, you sure got to go now. One out, pull down the left field line. That ball is going to get the winning run in. Here comes Jay Bruce rounding third, heading toward the plate, and this one belongs to the Reds.
Huge situation for Votto. Why you paying the big bucks to deliver the goods with 2 outs in the 9th inning? Can he do it? In the gap, right center field, and Votto delivers the goods.
Hit deep center field. Hank Hill going back at the warning track. Oh, he gets one. It's gone. Joey Votto is delivered.
Hello and welcome to the Chatterbox Reds pregame show. My name is Ricky Logan. Today is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. We are 1 day away from the trade deadline, and the Reds have made a move. The Reds look to avoid a sweep against the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I am joined by probably the biggest Norris Hopper fan I've ever met in my life, and Max Alfonso. How we doing, Max?
Good. This team could use Norris Hopper, but instead it's Key Brian Hayes.
That it is. The Reds made a trade today. They traded number 9 prospect in the system, Sammy Safura, and relief pitcher Taylor Rogers, in cash considerations to the Pittsburgh Pirates for Key Brian Hayes. Kind of a shocking move. I wasn't really I was expecting a hitter. I think that was kind of the main rumor mill was a hitter, and instead we got a hitter that's not even as good as Santiago Espinal offensively. So what are your main thoughts on this trade that happened today?
We got a third baseman who can pick it, but unfortunately we're going to have to watch him hit. So my first reaction to the trade was I was in a work meeting and I saw my phone and I just looked at it. I saw the pass and tweet and I just was like, whoa. I was really scared to see what they gave up. My first thought was, did they just do a Marte Hayes straight swap. If so, that would be the worst trade of all time.
Oh God, yeah.
So thankful it wasn't that. Instead, it's Sammy Safura and Taylor Rogers. I think I like the trade. You know, it's kind of clear, I think, that Marte is not a third baseman. And it's pretty clear that Hayes is one of the best defensive third basemen, if not the best defensive third baseman in baseball. He has a 1.2 B WAR this year, which is Baseball Reference WAR, and a OPS plus is of 59, and league average is 100. So that just tells you how good he is. That's one of the things that tells you how good he is defensively. Is he is next level. He's 16 runs defensive saved, 99th percentile in range on Baseball Savant. Not a great arm, but he gets to the ball and makes all the plays. Like defensively, it's everything you could want. He's not even close to Santiago Espinal defensively at third. He is miles better than Espinal at third base. He only plays third, so they're not gonna try and do the Reds thing. Like, oh, let's just throw him in left for a day. They're not gonna do that with Hayes. He is here to play third base, and maybe they can figure some things out offensively. I think they can. This is the worst year of his career offensively. As we were talking about before, I was trying to get deep into the numbers and look at some splits and try and find anything positive. I couldn't find anything positive. The only positive thing I found offensively this year is he's hitting well in high leverage. So take that for what it's worth. He's hitting like 320 with a 500 OPS in high leverage. So he's just going to slap a single if their space is loaded. But yeah, I like the trade, but there needs to be more. And I want to read this quote.
Yes.
Nick Krall's apparently talking to the media right now, which we know is never really a fun thing for anyone. And he said this: "Look at last night's game. Defensive plays are the difference in the game. Everyone loves the idea of getting a bat. If you can prevent runs, you're going to win games too."
That's not what you really want to hear.
No, it's not. Why can't you just do both? Like, there's still time. And full transparency, I think the Reds are going to make more moves.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of covering himself just in case they don't make another move. That's why he said that. But scoring runs is really important. And the Reds had bases loaded last night with no one out. And they got one run. And Hayes isn't going to come in and just tear the cover off the ball. If he does, great. But, nobody can expect that. There has to be other moves. Well, what are your thoughts on the trade?
I'm kind of indifferent. I was, you kind of get the hype of the Suarez trade just because of all the home runs. But if you can improve defensively, he is the move to make. I think he said he was dealing with a back issue and it's chronic apparently, but he still picks it defensively. And Nick and Trace were on earlier today. They were talking about the trade, and they said that his hitting coach got fired, and he's working with the new hitting coach, and maybe coming over here and working with another different hitting coach with the team. Maybe he gets a little bit better. He does have some pretty decent numbers at Great American Ballpark. I think he's like 269, 279 batting average as opposed to like the 239 he's hitting now. But I guess as long as this is not the only move offensively, or I guess defensively too, I'm okay with it. You still would like to get an outfielder. Now, I guess moving Marte into the outfield is kind of an upgrade offensively because he is the right-handed bat that hits both splits relatively well. But yeah, they need a reliever. They did bring up Luis May today also to fill for the Taylor Rogers move. So that's for today. Hopefully we get an extended look at Luis May this season too with the loss of Taylor Rogers. But yeah, overall, I think I'm okay with it. Obviously you would like to see the better offense, but I guess let's talk a little bit about today's game. Nick Martinez is starting today. He could be a potential last game as a Red. You want to run through this lineup and see if anything sticks out to you?
Which one do you want me to do first, Dodgers or Reds?
Reds lineup.
Yeah, let's do the Reds first. No Friedel. Tonight's still out on paternity leave. Congratulations to him on another child. So Gavin Lux will be leading it off, DHing. Thank goodness, don't have to watch fly balls drop in front of him tonight. Matt McClain hits second, Ellie behind him. Hayes, Marte, and Wright, as you mentioned. Stevenson, who got the night off last night, and then Steer, Benson, and Espinal, which could be the farewell game for Espinal at third. You never know. This could be it. Tito, one last ride with his guy, ride. Santiago Espinal. The thing that sticks out to me is, and it kind of relates back to the trade thing, is Fraley's not in the lineup.
Yeah.
He's been one of the teams. He's probably been the best hitter since the All-Star break. I wonder if he's battling something, or if I think an outfielder is getting traded. Just full transparency, I think they're going to trade someone. I don't think it'll be Hayes or Friedel, so I think it'll be Fraley, Benson, or Lux. But I think it's interesting Fraley's not in the lineup, considering he's hitting so well. So we'll see. But I like to see Marte in right field.
Yeah, Jake Fraley has a 201 WRC plus since the All-Star breaks. That's pretty good. I think 100's league average, so he's 101% better than league average.
Well, he killed the rally last night.
Yeah, he did. So did Marte. Yeah. Let's Martinez. He's 9-9 this year with a 4.69 ERA. His last start was against Tampa Bay. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Over his last 7 games, has a 5.25 ERA with 6 of those being starts. He did have a bullpen game earlier. What do you think about the Dodgers versus Martinez? Because he does kind of have a history pitching in San Diego before. What do you think about Martinez going tonight?
Yeah, so I don't think it'll be the last start for Martinez in Reds uniform. I do think he'll be sticking around, which is fine. I like Martinez. Some of the notes against the lineup for the Dodgers: Betts is 6 for 24 against him with the homer. Freeman 1 for 9. Teoscar Hernandez is 2 for 5. Will Smith 1 for 5. Rojas 2 for 5, and Pages 0 for 2. So mixed results. None of these results are really great. Teoscar probably the most success, and Betts has seen him the most at 6 for 24. But I don't know. I feel like you never really know with Martinez a lot of the time. Hopefully he's aggressive tonight and attacks the strike zone, because they need him to get kind of deep into this game. I mean, we've seen the bullpen just get absolutely shredded.
Yeah.
Ashcraft last night was bad. They had that stretch where I think it was Ohtani who he struck out, and then Freeman, and they just, for some reason, refused to put in a lefty. Maybe it was because they knew that they could be trading one of them, and they did today, so maybe that was why. But yeah, nonetheless, Martinez needs to give them, I think, at least 6 innings tonight to even have a chance to win this game, unless this offense randomly just gets hot early on against Shohei.
Just kills a couple rallies. For the Dodgers today, they have Mookie Betts leading off. Ohtani's pitching and batting second. Will Smith is batting third. Freddie Freeman batting fourth. Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages, Michael Conforto, Miguel Rojas, and Alex Freeland. Alex Freeland is the top infield prospect, and he's playing third base tonight. Ohtani, the unicorn, the Babe Ruth of the modern era. Tell us about his pitching this year, because he was out earlier in the season. He had Tommy John last year, and he actually injured himself against the Reds when he played for the Angels in 2023. Yeah. What have on Ohtani tonight?
So far this year, he's pitched 12 innings and 6 starts. They have been, I don't know, I guess we probably should have figured this out. I don't know who's going to follow him tonight. They will probably have a bulk guy who will go 2 or 3 innings. Maybe they made a bullpen move today to kind of get someone fresh up, but I did not see that. But 12 innings and 6 starts. I think tonight he could be 3 or 4 innings. And his stuff has looked fantastic. The velocity's high 90s. Like he's throwing gas still. The off-speed pitches are still gross. Like he is still Shohei Ohtani on the mound. As much as it kind of stinks that we're facing him, I love watching Ohtani. So I absolutely love watching him play. So, but hopefully the Reds lineup can get to him tonight.
Yeah, and his last start, he went 3 innings against Minnesota, 4 hits, earned run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Let's talk a little bit about the Reds bullpen. Luis May, like we said earlier, was promoted following the Taylor Rogers trade and the being a piece of the Ke'Bryan Hayes trade. Suter and Richardson and Mole did not pitch yesterday. Emilio Pagan's thrown 38 pitches in his last 3 games. Scott Barlow's pitched in back-to-back games. And Tony Santillan's pitched 4 out of his last 5 games. What do you, like you mentioned earlier, you'd really like to see a big Martinez start, but what do you see coming from the bullpen out of today's game?
I don't see much I like. The 3 freshest arms aren't exactly the arms I have the most, faith in. I like Suter, but do I really want him against this Dodgers lineup? Not really. Do I want Luis May? No. Do I want Richardson? No. But it's what happens when Nick Kroll isn't, making trades. We knew this was going to happen at this point in the series, and he's done nothing. And honestly, the price probably went up today for relievers. I don't know if you saw that the trade with the Giants, and actually Taylor Rogers' brother, Tyler Rogers, got traded to the Mets, and he's a rental. He's going to be there 2 months, and he got an absolute haul. Like the Giants did so well in that trade. So now I think the price went up for relievers. So who knows if they'll even get one that's, worth much at this point. And if they were sellers, I'd say the Reds should just sell really high on Pagan. But
Yeah,
I don't want the Reds to sell. I don't think they should sell. But
yeah, if you're selling high on Lodolo right now. You're selling Hayes. You're selling, Tyler Stevenson potentially. Like you're selling some guys that could potentially bring in a good haul. Mark Feinsand just reported that the Pirates could be potentially moving on from Taylor Rogers before the deadline. So he might not even last in a Pittsburgh uniform. He might not even put on a Pittsburgh uniform. But
yeah, I had a feeling that would, because they weren't wanting Taylor Rogers. They were just throwing him in, I think, to even out some salary and stuff. Like, because the Castellinis don't want to pay Taylor Rogers to. What was your favorite Taylor Rogers Reds moment? Do you have one?
Oh man, I remember
There's
there
just
was
so
a
many
game,
to pick from.
There was a game against the Giants where they brought him in with a couple guys on, and he gave up like 6 runs or something. It's funny because the traditionalists, you look at an ERA, you go, oh, he's pretty good, but then you look at his advanced numbers, and it's like anytime he's got a runner on base, that guy's scoring. If there's multiple guys on base, they're scoring, and
right.
It reminds me a little bit of Ian Jabot in 2023, although Ian Jabot was a better reliever, but it seemed like whenever Jabot would come in with, no inherited runners, he was lights out, but if he had anybody on base, they were scoring. But I think Taylor Rogers is just a worse example of that.
Yeah, good. Thank you for all the memories, Taylor.
Yeah. R.I.P. Taylor Rogers, Reds career.
Yeah.
I guess we could talk a little bit more about Ke'Bryan Hayes if you want, because we have a little bit of time. He is in the 99th percentile in range. He's got 4 errors this year. So we're basically getting a defensive specialist without being modest about it. Playing in Great American Ballpark, you can run into home runs, but he does only have 2 home runs this year, but that's also 2 home runs more than Santiago Espinal has playing third base. And I don't know, what are your overall thoughts? I guess we've already mostly talked about it, but if you have any more additional thoughts you want to add to the Ke'Bryan Hayes move.
So Hayes is 28 years old. He's been in the big leagues now since 2020, came up during the COVID year. and hit 376. So if he wants to do that again, by all means, Key Brian, go ahead. Even if it's just for like 2 weeks, that'd be awesome. That would help this lineup out tremendously. But he's got 2 Gold Gloves. The Pirates signed him to a extension back in 2021, I believe. And he's under team control until 2030, where they have a $12 million team option. As of now, I would say they declined that option, but he's making $7 million then this year, next year, and the year after, and then $8 million in 28 and 29, and then 2030 is that team option for $12 million. So it's really not that much money per year. Like $7 million a year in baseball terms is really like nothing. So like Austin Hayes is here, I think is making $5 million. Taylor Rogers, I think, was making $6 million, if I remember right. He might have been making more. So, you know, we're gonna have Hayes. Hayes is gonna be here for a while, and I don't mind that if they get more bats. This can't be the move. This cannot be the big move at the deadline, and I don't think it is. But in a vacuum, I like Key Brian Hayes, and I think, and a lot of people are talking about the Safura, giving up Sammy Safura, who's a 20-year-old shortstop, and he's playing fine down in Daytona. But I can live with giving up Sammy Safura. Maybe in 5 years, he's going to be raking for the Pirates, and I'm going to be like, man, this is terrible. As Key Brian Hayes is like getting DFA'd by Toronto or something. But I don't know. I like the trade as of now. But we'll see. Now, you asked me tomorrow at 6:23, and the Reds haven't made another trade, especially in the lineup. I'll be pretty baffled then.
Yeah, there are some more players that the Reds have been linked to. Obviously, I don't think Eugenio Suarez is going to be one of those anymore, but they have been rumored to Steven Kwan, Taylor Ward, Yandy Diaz, Marcell Ozuna, Luis Robert, Roman Laureano, Sonny Gray, and Jake Bird. Jake Bird's a reliever out of Colorado. That's the only reliever on that list. I think it just broke that the Phillies have acquired Johan Duran from the Twins, so that takes him off the market.
That's fine. They were never giving up.
We were never in the market for him. We're gonna go get Jake Bird, and we'll be happy with it. But
honestly, I'd like Jake Bird a lot.
He's got really good splits, and I did a deep dive on him a little while ago, and his ERA in Coors is like 1.38, and his ERA outside of Coors is over 5. Like, like hopefully that doesn't translate to if he gets traded, but it's just funny how that works out with him.
When you're there, you gotta kind of learn to pitch differently, and I think he's done a good job at it. He strikes everyone out too. Like he strikes so many guys out, and I don't know. I like relievers who strike guys out.
And I believe he still has like 3 years of team control. So that seems to be like the Nick Krall way. So that would probably be the move that they would try to go after the most.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind giving the Rockies a few arms because, do the arms the Rockies ever really work out much? No. And no shade on the guys that we're going to eventually trade, but I like to win. I like to win trades. Just a quick note. Key Brian Hayes will wear number 3.
Nice.
Let's run through the list of the last 5 guys to wear number 3 for the Reds, and you tell me which one was the best. Jeimer Candelario, Matt Reynolds, Albert Almora Jr., Asdrubal Cabrera, or Freddie Galvis. I honestly think it might be Freddie Galvis. It might be Freddie Galvis.
I mean, did Asdrubal Cabrera even ever get a hit with us?
I think he had like 2. But really? I remember him getting hit on the hit by pitch like 3 times, and that was his biggest contribution for a while.
Thank you for your services, Asdrubal Cabrera. Yeah, I think Freddie Galvis probably has to be the best player on the list.
I think he is too. That's depressing.
Speaking of
maybe he'll pick a new number.
Yeah, speaking of number 3, we had Chatterbox Reds night at Smoke Justice yesterday. Shout out Nick and Trace and everybody for hosting that and being such gracious hosts, and hopefully everybody that did show up got a t-shirt. But there was a guy there who had a Jeimer Candelario jersey on, and I couldn't find Trace fast enough to point him out. And shout out to that guy. I don't know if you're watching the show. If you are, God love you, because if you bought that jersey, you never got your money's worth.
Yeah, you won't get much if you sell that. Here's a Charlie Gifford quote from Nick Crawl. He's, like I said, talking to the media, said, "We're working through a lot of different things, and hopefully we can get something done sooner or later. It takes two to make a deal." And he also said there is a little bit of financial flexibility left, which is important that they traded Rodgers, because if they didn't, they probably wouldn't have any flexibility. Although I feel like he always says a little bit of financial.
I think he has to, just because the Castellinis.
Yeah, and I don't know. We'll see. Well, it's the same thing we've said this entire show. They need to make more moves.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's break out our crystal ball here. It's something me and Mike do on our show. Everybody in the chat, if you're still in here hanging out, give us your score prediction. We'll highlight them in the chat and we'll run through them while Max is thinking of a good score. And I'll kind of stall a little bit. Going back to Jake Bird, he's under team control through 2029. He becomes a free agent after the 2029 season. So that it might take a little bit to get him, even though he is a reliever. But
the Rockies never trade guys.
Yeah, so it might take something of substance to get him. With all the moves going on, I think Luis Robert still gets a haul. I mean, I think it would still take minimum from us Rhett Lauder. I think Rhett Lauder might be the lowest, or the lowest prospect we could give up as like the first prospect.
I said this on Twitter earlier. I've been mocking Chase Petty in about every single trade that I've made up in my head. Ramon Laureano, Chase Petty. Luis Robert, Chase Petty. Doesn't matter. But we'll see. I see a bunch of stuff in the chat here. Predictions. A lot of people have the Dodgers only getting 3 runs tonight against very depleted Reds bullpen.
We'll take it. We got Molly. She's got 4-3 Reds. Daniel Myers has 4-3 Reds also. Reese has 5-3 Reds. Anybody else has score predictions? Throw them in while Max is giving out his, and I'll think of mine also.
Someone just said in the chat, why is Friedel not playing? His wife just had a baby, so congratulations to them. I think he'll be back by Friday, soon. Maybe. I don't want to.
Yeah, I would assume tomorrow or Friday would probably be.
Yeah, it'll definitely be by Saturday, assuming everything is going well. We haven't heard anything that it's not. Yeah. So,
we got Lance George 9-5, and then whatever you have.
Dodgers 10-3. All right, buddy. I will go Reds 8-7. Just a crazy game before the trade deadline. Luis May comes in, throws a Ricky Karcher special, and dances his way out of a magical win as the Reds DFA Connor Joe and welcome Key Brian Hayes to Cincinnati.
Shout out Ricky Karcher. I think we're going to avoid the sweep. I think it's going to be hard the first couple innings. I think Ohtani is going to be dealing, but I think I'm going to go. It's going to be a moderate score. I'm going to go 6-5 Reds. It's going to be a nail biter.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could get that Ohtani pitch count up early and hopefully get him out by the 4th. Honestly, because he's still got that pitch limit, and whoever they put in after is not going to be as good as Shohei Ohtani, which is nice to know.
But it's a good thing. We got Christopher with 6-3 Reds. Make sure to tune in tonight. Nick and Trace will be live in the 9th inning and post game talk about the Reds and Key Brian Hayes and all the other good stuff and some potential trades. I know Nick's planning on going live tomorrow for the trade deadline. I think I might be popping in there too. Talk some trades and some players that might be traded. We got Jacob Doyle, Dodgers 9, Reds 4. Way to be positive, Jacob.
Does everyone know the Reds are unsweepable?
Yeah, we can't be swept, guys. We're gonna keep this streak going. We're gonna go all year. I'm gonna put my hot take out there. So we go all year.
I've already made the banner.
Let's go. We're gonna hang it up high, loud, and proud on the final pregame show of the year too. When it comes down to it, yeah. Make sure you check out Nick and Trace tonight, 9th inning, and Max. If you don't have anything else, let's just hit with the Go Reds.
Go Reds.